And I offered at the point, I said, you know what, I'll take care of that for you. I said, you just make me a price on whatever, it was 1 barrel or 2 barrels. You just make me a price on the 2 barrels and I'll take whatever you have. And they were like, I don't know. Nope, I'm not kidding. I'm deadly serious. Make me a price on the 2. We'll put them in my truck before I leave. All right, so here's what happens when this happens.
Unfortunately,
you bring out your corkscrew.
You got your very fancy corkscrew that you've had for 14 years sitting in your tool chest. Now, you missed the first 12 seconds of us pulling on this.
That's a synthetic cork.
Yeah, it is a synthetic cork.
Just
broke off a little bit there.
Glued. In fact, I don't know that there is glue in there.
Yeah, there is glue. Just not
very well done.
Not a lot of it. Not a lot of it. But hello, everyone, and welcome to Bourbon Theory. I'm Josh,
and I'm Bill,
and today we are going to
Courtmaster.
Today we're going to
Courtmaster General over here.
Today we're going to be drinking some Redline. What is this? Just Redline?
Redline single barrel.
Redline single barrel.
Hand selected. This was hand selected for Woodman's Markets, my new favorite store in Wisconsin. Best prices. Well, one of my new favorite stores in Wisconsin. I still like Coloma Liquors. So it's finished in a toasted new oak barrel, limited edition.
So it is a single barrel. This is 116 proof. 116 proof. Bottle number 57 from barrel number 413. Finished in toasted new oak barrels. Now, is Redline sourced? Do they do their own stuff here? Yeah, just bottled by Silent Brigade Distillery in Paducah. Paducah, Kentucky, yeah.
I was listening to a radio show one time out of Russellville, I believe, Kentucky. And they were getting a call out around Bowling Green. They were getting a call in, and there was somebody from the Northeast somewhere looking for Paducah, Kentucky. Paducah. And the hosts were like, what? Paducah? Yeah, Paducah. No, I don't have any idea what you're talking about. Paducah. Can you spell it? They spelled it. You mean Paducah? Yes. Well, okay. All right. This is really...
That toast comes through.
It does. But this is light.
It is.
For a toasted barrel.
There's no age statement, and obviously it doesn't tell us how long it was in a toasted barrel.
No. And there's some ethanol on this too.
Yeah, there is. Jeez.
That's the first thing I have never heard of this before. Never heard of it. It was very reasonable. The price was, I think it was $55, something like that.
So I have heard of them. I'm not sure if they exclusively do finishes, but I've been told their Redline, their Elements honey cask finish is the best honey finished whiskey that you can find. And a lot of people really like that honey finish.
So they call this Redline, and here's what their tag is on the back. It says, with every barrel comes a signature line. This red line is a caramelized layer of sugars that develops just beneath the char. Our selection process and custom aging techniques work to leave another signature mark, only this time on you. But it only says bottled by. It does not say where it's distilled. Nope. Doesn't give you anything.
It's at the top there.
Oh, distilled in Indiana.
Sorry. There you
go. MGP.
Yeah, most likely. It's spicy. It's very spicy. I'm really
There's a note there, and I'm sure it's the toast, but it's There's something
See,
else there.
I'm really not getting any note outside of spice. With a toasted barrel, you really expect to get a vanilla or caramel nose and flavor on the palate. I mean, it's a little sweet.
Yeah.
It's a little sweet. It's like a thin, like honey kind of sweetness.
Yeah. It's almost like this is a wheater.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? You're right.
I think it's a wheater.
Yeah. But I'm getting no toasted barrel impact off of this.
I'm not getting the rye either. I don't get a rye. You said a rye. I don't get it.
No. Not rye spice.
Okay.
Just spice.
Okay.
Just spice.
That's where I don't think it's a rye. I think this is a wheater. Because, you know, some wheaters, although wheat is a sweet grain,
can
put
be some
spicy.
spice on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think this is a wheater.
And I mean, when I hear toasted barrel.
So think about this like holiday sweet red wheat.
Yeah, along the same line. But it says toasted.
Yeah.
Now, when I hear toasted
finish,
one of the things that I love about toasted is you get a caramelized sugar flavor in there.
And this is sweet. It is definitely sugary.
Sweet,
it's definitely,
but it's not. It doesn't say toasted barrel.
It's a bit dry. No, it does not.
Yeah. So I still have. Actually, no. I think you have some upstairs. A local distillery here.
That's where I was headed.
Southern Grace Distilleries out of Mount Pleasant, North Carolina, has a 2-year-old toasted barrel finish.
It must be upstairs.
Yeah, it's upstairs. Yes. Toasted barrel bourbon whiskey.
Believe it or not, this is not all the bourbon.
It's fantastic.
Yes.
I've had a lot of toasted things. Toasted barrels are some of my favorite finishes, bar none.
In fact, I was so enamored with it when we were there tasting, and it wasn't part of the tasting.
And not only that, but we had the master distiller in our tasting with us.
Yes.
Speaking to everyone.
I think they had 2 barrels of it. Is all they had. It was either 1 or 2 is all they had.
That they hadn't bottled, I think.
Well, they hadn't bottled any of it yet because they either didn't have bottles or didn't have labels.
They didn't have labels. Yeah.
And I offered at the point, I said, you know what, I'll take care of that for you. I said, you just make me a price on whatever, it was 1 barrel or 2 barrels. You just make me a price on the 2 barrels and I'll take whatever you have. And they were like, I don't know. Nope, I'm not kidding. I'm deadly serious. Make me a price on the 2. We'll put them in my truck before I leave.
They wouldn't do it.
And they wouldn't do it.
They wouldn't do it.
I think there was a bit of temptation there.
Yeah.
A little bit. But
I think they maybe made some promises to people about the bottle count and exactly how many they were going to release. So
there have been some things there, but I was dead serious about taking what they had.
It's the best toasted finish I've ever had.
And this does, as you were talking, I was already on my mind. You just got it out before I did.
Yeah.
This reminds me a lot of what they had.
It's got a similar flavor profile. It just doesn't leave me with enough of that toasted taste that I normally get. Real quick on that toasted barrel finish from Southern Grace Distilleries, Conviction Toasted is the name. Get yourself a 2-ounce pour of that and have chicken and waffles with some maple syrup. That's a great way to start your day.
My boy was born in Tennessee, partially raised in Texas, and then fully raised in North Carolina. He done gone chicken and waffles.
It's a fantastic combination, and I highly recommend it. I'm trying to think of all the other toasted barrels I've tried. I've had Elijah Craig toasted. Had this now.
And you know, Elijah Craig toasted, the first pour I had of it, didn't like it.
No.
In fact, I was ready to pass on it. And I thought, as much as I like Elijah Craig, I've got to be having an off-palate day. In fact, I told you, I said, I'm done. This is out of my wheelhouse. I'm not going to do this.
Matter of fact, is that the bottle you gave me? Or
did
you give me a new bottle? I can't remember.
I think I bought 2 and I was giving you one anyway. But I thought, you know what? I'm going to go back to this. I'm going to give this a week. I'm going to go back to it. And once I went back to it, I realized I did. I had an off palate night or day or whatever that was, and I did enjoy it after that.
Yeah.
So there's a lesson.
And this one's, I would say this is worse than the Elijah Craig, worse than the Conviction. Not that it's bad. It's not bad.
At this point, I'd put it C- to D+.
Yeah. It's just, it doesn't give you the characteristics that you typically look for in a toasted barrel finish.
No, it's not bad.
I have had another toasted barrel that was really good. Well, here's one that's easily accessible and it's everywhere. That's not half bad.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Basil Hayden's.
Considerably lower proof.
Yeah. I would put this lower than this, more readily available for our average viewer, the Basil Hayden's toast. There is another major brand that does a toasted finish that is really going to bug me that I can't think of right now.
I don't think we've got anything else on the shelf.
I don't think there's anything else that's toasted that's
down here.
Yeah.
It's toasted.
It's going to bug me that I can't think of what it is.
Sorry to turn our backs on you completely.
Yeah. Huh.
Oh, that's got to come off the shelf. That's rum.
Yes, it does.
That wine's got to come off too.
Does Heaven Hill have a toasted finish with something? One of their brands, other than Elijah Craig?
I'm sure they probably do, but
thinking
I don't know
that might be what it is. I'm having a hard time remembering at the moment. This would be the worst toasted barrel I've had, other than that Basil Hayden's. And toasted barrels for me are probably sit a little higher than almost any average bourbon. Just because I really enjoy that rich, creamy flavor that comes with them. So
yeah, I would also say if you're in our area, you're probably not going to find this. I've never seen this.
Yeah, I've never seen this around us at all.
In our area.
Yeah, the foothills of North Carolina.
No.
So I give it a C-. I give it a C-.
But thanks for tasting.
Thank you for tasting with us today.
Yeah, a little thick on my tongue.
Yeah, C-. C-.
But anyway, thanks for being with us here today, this evening.
This is a barrel select.
It is a barrel select.
This is a store pick.
Yes.
So their base toasted
could be
a little different.
Yeah.
Could be better, could be worse.
And I would say this is a bit young.
Yeah, I wouldn't put this at more than 2 or 3 years old.
Yeah, which I don't know. I honestly, if you're in the business, I don't know why you're putting stuff out as 2 or 3 years.
So, well, you know what? Something that's incredible is Southern Grace is toasted. It's 2 years old. 2 years old. And then toasted.
Yeah.
Although I think the difference, this is finished in a toasted barrel. And Southern Grace, Elijah Craig, I think Basil Hayden's as well, they are aged in the toasted barrel the entire time.
Well, no, they can't be. It's still got to be finished in a toasted barrel. It's still got to be added back to it. It's essentially a double barrel.
So toasted is heavy char. Toasted means number 5 char. Am I wrong?
No, I don't think so. We got to do more research.
I almost want to do a little Googling on that. It's going to bug me now.
Ask Phil. He's bugging you right now. He's on your glass.
Phil,
why do you get out of here?
I went to and he moved. Well, Redline.
You know what? If Redline is tuned into us, drop us a line.
Yeah.
A red line.
Let us, I mean, should we try your base release? Do you think your base release is going to hit our palates better than a store pick?
I mean, you had some good notes in there. There were some good notes.
There's potential.
Yes.
For sure. Don't know how old the distillery is. Don't know how long they've been doing this.
Just put a little note on there. Where'd it come from? Well, it is. You told us where it came from.
It came from Indiana.
Came from Indiana.
NGP more than likely.
Yeah.
It's a little young.
Yeah.
And I think that has a lot to do because you can have a young bourbon and it can be good.
Sure.
You can have a 2-year-old that's pretty good. But for the most part, 4 is really when you start to see some significant changes happening to a spirit. And honestly, 6 is kind of the sweet spot that you really want to see.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Yes,
Not all bottles do that.
No.
So we gotta be careful.
I know. I just wanted to see if it would.
Yeah, we gotta make sure they have an indentation on them. But I would not steer away from trying more of their stuff.
No,
for sure. Yeah.
But I'd like to try it at a bar.
Yeah.
At a tasting room.
I like to try something age stated.
Mm-hmm. At a liquor barn.
Yeah.
You know.
There you go.
Not mine.
Well, liquor barns are liquor stores in Kentucky.
That's right.
So maybe they've got some store picks we could try.
That's
when
right.
We're shopping around up there.
That's right.
At the end of about a month. In about a month. Man, I'm dying to get up there. I'm dying to do the Bourbon Trail.
I will be very happy to see you there.
I'm going to be very happy to be there. Matter of fact, if you let me drive all the way there, we might get there a whole hell of a lot faster than we should.
Yeah, you don't need any points on your license. Neither do I.
Oh, well, guys, thank you so much for being with us here today.
And like good bourbon, our videos will get better with time.
Take care of yourselves.